Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So today we are going to be learning about functions in JavaScript. So first, let's look at the overview of today's video. So today we're going to be looking at functions and what they are. Then we're going to be looking at the syntax in JavaScript and how to write a function in JavaScript. Then we're going to be looking at some examples of functions in JavaScript. And finally, we're going to be making our own function. So let's get started. So what is a function? A function is used when you want to reuse a chunk of code over and over again. So it's not technically like a loop, because in loops we have increments and that type of stuff. But functions are basically like, for example, you can see right here, like let's say we make a adding function and it like helps us add two numbers. Then we can, instead of like saying 9 plus 9 or 10 plus 10 all the time, we can just put the add function in front of the two numbers and it'll do the same thing, and it just saves us time, especially when you're wanting to do the same thing over and over again. So a function needs to be called. So you can't just make a function and like just magically make it work. You make the function and like put the code inside, so like the program knows like what to do when the function is called, and then you call it somewhere in the function. So you don't need to write all that code. You just put the like function name and it works. So let's look at the function syntax in JavaScript. So first we have our function declaration. So in front of every function you need to have this function word. Then you have your function name, and in your function name you cannot add a space, so that's why they have it together here. You can also put like an underscore or a dash. Then you have our argument in like two parentheses. Then you have the curly brackets, and inside the curly brackets is a statement. So here are the four major parts: the function keyword, name of the function, argument or parameters inside parentheses, and statement in curly brackets. So now let's look at some examples. So here you can see in our function we have an adding function, so we have num1, num2, and then we have like whatever code and then return result. So then you can see outside, so this is just the function. Now here you can see let x equal to add a and b. So you could put whatever like numbers you want. So let's say 10 and 5. So then whenever like x is called, like now you can see x is equal to 15, because this is our adding function and we have 10 and 5, so it would automatically add 10 and 5, which is 15. So like x would just automatically be 15. Then you can see in the next function we have a greet name, and we have like whatever code that is here, and then you can see it is called right here, so you can see like how it gets called in this example. So now that we've looked at some examples, we are going to be making our own function. So I just realized after a couple of videos that you cannot make these on code.org, because code.org, the weblog, it only like supports CSS and HTML. So I did not know that, and in every video I kept on saying code.org, but you cannot do it on code.org. So go to replit.com and follow along with me. And functions are not just in JavaScript, they're in every language, so it's really good to nail down functions, really, because they're a really important skill. So now with that said, let's get on to code. Okay, so you can see right here we have the code for our program. So inside we have a few like titles, paragraphs, we have our paragraph ID, and then in the script tag you can see our function is going to be used to calculate the two numbers. Now again, here are parameters. You can even put num1, num2, and then you would just need to change this, and you can see that my code is telling me to divide num1 divided by num2. So you can see that's my function. We have a name, we have the function keyword, we have parameters, it's inside curly brackets, and when you go outside, when we write it down, you can see I called my function, okay, because first I made it and then I called it. Then I added the two values I want to divide. So 15 and 3. So you would just kind of substitute it in, and that means 15 divided by 3, and everyone knows that's 5. So now if we run our code, our answer is 5. Now you could change these two numbers. So let's say like 10 divided by 5, and the answer would be 2, and when we do it, it's going to be 2. Now you could also do a different symbol. You don't need to do division. You could do addition, and that would be 15, which is coming up. You could do subtraction, and that would come up. You could also do multiplication. Multiplication in coding is always an asterisk. You'll never see like an X. And then if we do it, it's going to be 50. So you could experiment with this, do it, but we created one function, and you can repeat that function over and over again. Like I could like create another paragraph, and I could call the function again. So the good thing is you don't need to keep on saying like multiply this, multiply that. And this one seems pretty simple, but once you do bigger projects, you'll see that like functions save a lot of time. For this one, it was just more for demonstration, so it is pretty short, and you really could have just typed it out. But if you do bigger projects where like you'll need to do like many functions and stuff, functions do save a lot of time. So that is my coding example for functions. Okay guys, so for a review, in this video we learned about what a function is, then we learned about how you can write a function in JavaScript, then we looked at two examples of functions in JavaScript, and finally we did a little calculation function where we calculated some values of some numbers. So guys, that is it for the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. Comment down below what other topics you want to see in JavaScript or in any other language. Then share this video with all your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to Coding for Kids. So guys, that is it for the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!